Awesome. Let's wait a little bit for everyone to join us. I have like 3 screens open. It's my first time using StreamYard, so
That's really cool. It does all platforms, does it?
yes.
That's cool.
That
Yeah.
is cool. So it's funny, my hair is just the wrong color right now. I tried to do the color background or blur mine, and it like blanks out half of my hair.
Yes. It's like black and
Yeah,
and and bluish. Yeah.
yeah, and the
Uh-huh.
bluish part it gets all sorts
Yes.
of confused.
hmm
It's kind of funny.
It's hard because I can't see. Oh, here. Hey. Can you see the comments? We see one comment. Yes.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
What does it mean? Would like to join? Is it possible?
Maybe he wants to be on the camera.
Hey. Good morning. Hey everyone, we're gonna wait a few more minutes for everyone to join. You can drop on the comments where you're watching from. Oh, I love seeing more women watching us. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're watching us. This is nice.
Morning, everyone. Good afternoon, good evening, too.
Yes. Cool. Yes, women power. Awesome. Just one more minute and we'll start because I don't want to take everyone's time. Grab your coffee. I have the AWS.
It's great seeing people joining from all over
Yes,
the world. Oh,
swag.
swag.
Everyone.
I've got my community builder notebook.
Nice. Cool. So, welcome everyone to this live stream, and I want to thank you, these 3 other lovely ladies that are joining me and giving their time to talk about their journey and experiences as well. And everyone, depending on your time zone, thank you for joining. Here, it's mostly to answer your questions because I know there's a lot about the program online. If you Google it, you can find what is the Community Builders program or how to get in. But my goal with this live stream is to answer some specific questions and show that it's possible to join the Builders program with less experience or more experience as a woman, etc. So that's why I've invited them to be here with me. And also, I've prepared a few questions, but feel free to wait. At the end, we're gonna have Q&A, and then we're gonna answer all your questions. Okay. So let's start with some introductions. Who you are, what you do, also what category you're in. Oh, we have someone in. One more that is joining us.
Gerne darauf weiter und
Awesome.
alles in die Tickets reinpacken und das irgendwie
Hello.
zweiten. Ich packe das gleich hier auch nochmal
We're just
gerne
about to
verlinken, wo ihr
start.
dran seid. Die ersten Infos oder Teams sind auch.
Okay, awesome. Oh wait, you're muted. Yes.
Hi.
Cool. How are you?
Now I'm unmuted.
Yes. So I was
I'm
just
doing great.
telling everyone.
I don't know if you can see.
Oh wow.
I'm in a meeting. I'm sorry to interrupt you. We have an incident, so I'm in a parallel meeting, but I'm all here. I'll be listening in.
It's good.
You need my attention. I'm all ears. Thank you.
Whenever you can jump and answer, feel free to jump. If you cannot, you can just be here More women, the better. So thank you for joining us. Awesome.
pleasure.
So we'll just start with some introductions. Who you are, what you do. Also, for those that are new to the program, to get into the program, there are some categories. So we dependently, each one has a category. Also, which category you're in, and what are your main activities in the community, or what you usually do in the community to help out. So I can lead the way. I'm Julia. Yeah, you can see I love everyone put their names here. I'm Julia. I work for Veeam. I'm a global technologist, which is basically the same as a developer advocate. I live in New York, so in the United States, and I started in the AWS Community Builder program in the category as Dev Tools. But I changed it now because you can change while you're in the community already. And I'm Cloud Ops now. And what I do mostly is, I write blog posts. I also create videos and some live streams like this. And I go to a lot of events and I give talks about AWS in general, about mostly security as well, but and about my journey as a woman in tech as well. So yes, now who's next?
I don't mind going next. So,
Sure.
hey everyone, I am Chloe McAteer. I am based in Belfast, Northern Ireland. So it's just past lunchtime here. I know a few of you have just woken up. I have been an AWS Community Builder for 4 years now. So that was when the project first started. It originally was a small beta group called Project Skittles. I think, Jen, you'll remember Project Skittles as well. At this point, they were just trying to get the program up and running and try to kind of see where it could grow. So it's been really great to be part of the community from that early and watch the amount of people who's come through the program now. So I have joined in the data category. But as Julia said, you can really do stuff across all categories. I write some blog posts on some of the dev tools, some on serverless, some on data. So it really doesn't define what you have to do in the community. It's just more of a specialism, and you have that kind of support and contact in that category. But in terms of being part of the community, I write blogs as well. So write blogs on whatever I'm working on and whatever I'm trying out, and also speaking at different community events as well. So really excited to be here today, sharing more of that journey. And can let someone else introduce themselves now.
Thank you very much. I'll go next. Hi, everyone. I'm Zarina Barnsby. I'm an AWS Community Builder second year, and I'm also within the Cloud Operations category. So Cloud Operations is really a holistic representation of lots of different areas. When I first joined, it was initially called the Migrations Governance. So migrations is my specialty area. Outside of the Community Builder program, I'm also head of technical architecture in a technology consulting firm over in the UK, and I run a mid-level career accelerator program into architecture. That kind of area in terms of professional learning and development and next steps to get people into leadership positions is where I'm really passionate about. So part of my journey into applying to become a community builder was talking about the work that I've been doing for, over a decade, working with schools, charities, and various initiatives from Coding Black Females and AWS Academy. And I'm really passionate about helping diverse people look towards careers in tech, from returners to work, career switchers, and early careers, and heading towards the AWS Educate and the L&D side of that journey. In terms of initiatives I've been part of as a community builder, I'm very much centered around mentorship, advocacy, and also, I do a lot of talks at events, from everything from the AWS Summit in London to DTX Expo. But yeah, that's a little bit about me. Over to someone else.
All right, I'll hop in. So hey everyone, I'm Jen Bergstrom. As Chloe mentioned, I'm a fourth-year community builder as well. So I've been in there since the very beginning of it all. And I came in under DevTools, but as everyone's mentioned, you don't have to stay in the area you came in. So From the DevTools perspective, I tend to talk a lot about chaos engineering and how you can incorporate that into your pipelines to validate the resiliency and recoverability of your system. So that part does fit into DevTools, but I also talk about machine learning and gamification events. One of the things that I do in my real career outside of AWS Community Builders is organize and host company-wide gamification events to level up our employees at my company. And, so I tend to talk about that fairly often and post about that quite a bit. As far as the community builders, it's been a joy to watch this community grow, to watch the diversity of the community grow, and to see people coming in from all over the world at various levels of expertise, and become part of the community. One of my favorite things that I do for the community builders actually is help organize the pre-invent hike that we've had each year for the last 2 years now. And we're getting ready to kick off planning for this year's pre-invent hike. So hopefully we went from about 8 people in the first year to over 50 last year, and we're going to see what we can get to this year. So pretty excited to see that one form up. And over to anybody else.
Yeah, I think I'll take over now. I'm the last person to present. My name is Inda Bongo Awa. I am a first-year community builder in category data. I'm based in Germany and I work as a DevOps engineer for RTL. RTL is like a great media company. And I'm a little bit in panic now because yesterday our systems went down and we are really like in a very
Wow.
hectic mode. We're finding out what happened, monitoring, looking at Prometheus, finding out we haven't found out yet. There is a meeting going on now, but I already committed to this, so I need to really see my multitasking skills come to life at the moment. I'm really glad to be here among you ladies. And Serena, I really admire you. I've been attending some of your sessions on Slack. Those are one of the things that helped me in my certification journey. You're doing a great job for the women out there. And I am a board member for Cloud Heroes Africa, which is like a non-profit organization where we encourage youth to explore the opportunities in cloud computing. I am from a banking and finance background, and I transitioned to the cloud 2 to 3 years ago. And actually, it's actually I see it as a disgrace that I didn't know what cloud computing was. And if I'm in the Western world, I don't know what cloud computing was in 2020, thanks to COVID. I imagine what those in Africa are going through. You have people that are having degrees, are certified doctorate, and are driving taxis. They are still doing small businesses along the roadside. They're very smart people. So with the cloud, there's no barrier. You can do it from anywhere. So that's what I'm really engaged in as a board member. I'm leveraging all my knowledge, the knowledge I have for myself and my community. So I wish the world goes wide for women, and also women that are marginalized, all the indigents of the world. I don't know. I'm just like wanting everyone to know about cloud computing. Everyone. Thank you so much.
I love it. And where can people in Africa find more about the program?
What program exactly? Cloud Hero,
Yes,
cloud computing, or to be an AWS
the
community
Cloud
builder?
Hero. Yeah, the Cloud Hero that you mentioned. You're
Oh,
part of the
yeah.
organizers.
We have a website and also on LinkedIn. Yesterday we had a meeting to like introduce them, walk them step by step through the process of being a community builder to get more advantage and more exposure
Great.
for the networking and everything. Yeah. So we have our LinkedIn page and our website where we volunteer and we teach each other.
Well, I encourage anyone that is in Africa and want to get involved to check out this program. I love any kind of program that tries to help people get into the cloud space, and especially unadvantaged people to get into the cloud space. That's awesome. And I'm inspired by all of you. So yes, thank you again for being here and everything that you do. I'm sure everyone is inspired as well. It's great to have you. So let's talk a little bit about the program now. How would you personally describe the AWS Community Builders program, and share your favorite perks or benefits? I saw that someone asked what are the main benefits of becoming an AWS community builder. So share it, because I think that's what gets the attention of people. We want the perks, but we end up staying for like the whole community, the people, not only the perks. The perks in the end, they're not really like that important after you get to know everyone in the community. I think that's the real perk about the community builders program. So if someone wants to start, I can jump in after, but if someone wants to start talking a little bit about the program, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, I'll just jump right ahead and take the lead on this one.
Awesome. Yes.
Yeah, for me, it was the networking, because coming into this space, um, with the eagerness to thrive, the eagerness to know more, the best way that is sustainable is the networking. If you know someone who can really like guide you in different aspects, and having the different categories, having the experts, the heroes, the enthusiasts, everyone around, which will take you far and wide. So the networking did it for me, among others, but networking was my highlight.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll jump in. So in terms of all the great benefits, there are lots. We get credits that we can use inside our own AWS accounts, as well as Cloud Academy. We get that free for a year. But there are lots of, swag and all that bits and pieces. They're all fun. One of the great things that I really personally enjoyed is the community inside Slack. We're in a community where we're linked with other builders as well as heroes and a couple members of the AWS space. And inside there, we also get access to really great sessions. Some of them we have to sign NDAs and we cannot talk about them but really great, on point technical content, which is available to us, which is not necessarily available to other people who are not part of the Builders program.
Yeah, I'll jump in and follow that one. I agree. The NDA discussions that happen in the Community Builder Slack area and in the webinars that we get are amazing. One of the highlights for me is when we get some of the luminaries from AWS that come in and do presentations for us. Jeff Barr was on earlier this year doing a presentation, and I thought it was fantastic. And those types of opportunities you don't get normally or outside of the community. The networking, the community, I mean, there's a reason it's called Community Builders, and community is absolutely key to everything. You could probably take away pretty much all the other benefits, and the global community and the interaction that we all have would keep me invested and interested in being part of the program.
Yeah, for me, like the same as everybody else, that community aspect, it's just the ability really to connect with like-minded people who have the same passions as you. You get to talk about different side projects, see people's excitement of what they've worked on. I've shared my blogs with people, I've read their blogs. It's really good to just have that support as well when you're trying to really get out there with blogging or speaking at events. I've got so much advice from just other community builders who've been trying to do that work as well. And even like we are such a global community, most people I talk to over Slack, but anytime we have the chance to go to in-person events like reInvent, and Jenny, I know I met you at reInvent, and Julia, when we went to the gaming experience in LA, it's just great to actually connect and get that chance to chat to people in person as well. And some of the other benefits for me, the certification vouchers have been incredible. Since joining the community, I've now got 3 different certifications. That's really helped me professionally and with my career. And honestly, having the support of other people sitting their exams as well. I've been putting into the Slack channel, has anyone got advice? Has anyone got tips? Where could I find questions? And it really just is that support process, that you always have somebody there whenever you have an issue as well. So yeah, absolutely love the community, and I could not recommend it more.
Yeah, it's funny you mentioned, but one benefit that we forget is that we get access to events as well. Like they give us opportunity to speak at AWS summits, to speak at AWS reInvent as well. Because if you're not part of the community or you're not sponsoring these events, you cannot give a talk at these events. So they give us opportunities to do that. also, that's where I met you, Chloe, for the first time. We went to LA for the Valorant Championship. They invited the community builders and community heroes. Whoever wanted to go, we just had to apply, and everything paid by the AWS, and it was an awesome experience. We went to LA and we went to watch the game in real life and cheer for them, which was awesome. And we also were able to go to the backstage and see how everything works, because they use AWS for their infrastructure. So things like that, you don't get these opportunities anywhere else. And AWS really wants to make this AWS Community Builders program unique and give us so many benefits. But yeah, like I mentioned at the beginning, the people are the biggest benefits, but there are so many other benefits. Like you get one certification a year. So every year you're in part of the community, you get a certification, you get credits, you get the 1 year for Cloud Academy to study for these certifications. So there are a lot of amazing things. And I think each year they're making it better. So they're coming up with different things each year, which is awesome. I love it. Thank you. So next question is, what is required to be able to apply to the program? And if you have any words of wisdom or advice for people looking to apply, maybe you can share how you applied for it, because there are some requirements, and what you put as a requirement when you applied and that got you accepted, or just in general, because I know this year it's changed a little bit. I know they're making it a little harder for you to get accepted, but still I recommend everyone trying. For me, my motto is, you already have the no, so try. And if you say they say it's okay, but probably they'll say yes, so try it anyways. But tell us, how was your journey applying, and if you have any advice for people watching, what they should do to apply to the program.
Well, one thing that I appreciate about the new form this year is it's more free form in the way that you enter in your contributions. And I think that's phenomenal, because one of the contributions that I used when I first came into the program 4 years ago was the fact that I helped run and helped found the Tech Study Discord community, which is a global community of tech learners, that was started by a group of about 8 of us that are all still involved in that community. And, that's not something that you can give a web link to easily. That's not something you can point to an excerpt or a live speech or anything like that. But with the form the way it is this year, it's very, very easy to describe that in a couple of paragraphs about what it does and how it benefits the community. So, I really like the new form this year and the visibility it gives. One thing that I would say that I also like that they've done this year is they're looking for contributions from 1 month to 12 months ago. So, one of the things that they've seen in the past is people see that the submission period is open and they go and write 3 blog posts and then submit that as their evidence of contribution. And it doesn't really show that you're continually invested in the program. And that's really what they want for community builder members, is individuals who are doing things throughout the year in a broad range of contribution types, to stay active and to grow the community and to grow their peers.
Yeah, that's a great point.
Yeah,
like
and
that
I'll also
point.
follow up on Jen's point by talking about the 4 to 12, the 1 month to 12 month period to show your work. It all boils down to authenticity. How true are you? Because we're building a community, and for a community to be built, we need a foundation. Even if you wrote a blog post in 2 weeks, what was it based on? Was it based on work you started over 2 years ago? What foundation? What motivated you, or how will you contribute to the community? It's not just about you. Well, we are like vessels. You're vessels to serve people. if you are like the right vessel, having the right platform with the right motive that will go far and wide, I think it is awesome. And they bringing it down to one admission process a year really makes the applicants to reflect that, okay, am I ready? If I'm not ready, let me get serious on this. And I have a year to like define my goal, define my plan. Okay, this is what is meant for me. I'll apply next year and I'll have all the resources required for me to change my no into a yes. They know you already have, Julia, as you said, they know you already have into a yes. And it's really transformative. It boils down to help. You help yourself and you help others. So with this timeline, we will get the best community builders, and we as builders ourselves will be challenged to do more for those that are coming after us and for those that are going along with us. So yeah.
Yeah, I love that. I think it's just super important to just get your passion across for the community. And also, I wouldn't let this put you off. If you did apply and were unsuccessful, you can still be part of a global community, still get your content out there, still write your blogs. And it might just be maybe you need to hold off a year and apply again, or keep trying. And it's such a supportive community, but I wouldn't let anything like that define you or put you off your contributions to the community. So keep doing what feels authentic to you. I can't get that word across either today. What feels authentic to you, getting your content out there, trying your hardest, putting your passion out there. And at the end of the day, no one's going to stop you from contributing to your own space and your own community as well. So just as long as you keep that passion up too.
One tip I like to share is one that I used myself, and one I've helped other people apply to be community builders with, is really speak to someone who knows you well. A common trait for myself and amongst a lot of women I know is that we don't necessarily celebrate our own achievements enough. Well, on the flip side, we are great at championing others, so utilize that. Speak through your application and what you want to talk about through someone else, because it's really interesting seeing yourself through their eyes, helping remind you about just how great you are from that aspect. Another thing which I did in my application process was I kind of treated it a little bit like it was an interview. I'm applying for something that I'm really after, and as such, I used common interview traits such as writing down in the STAR format. So, things like situation, task, action, and these are the results. I drew inspiration from the AWS leadership principles, as well as, I like to tell stories, use numbers and quotes where applicable in terms of that free format section. But yeah, that's a little bit of what I did, and some tips in regards to applying for the community builder process.
Yeah, I love all the advice that you shared. I think they want to see that you're putting in some effort towards the community. So becoming an AWS community builder means you're putting effort in helping the community, and not just like 2 weeks before writing a blog post and thinking that's your contribution. If that's you and you want to become an AWS community builder, you have 1 year to start writing and planning, goal setting, everything that you mentioned. You have 1 year, and take that year to your advantage, and learn more and meet people, reach out to them on social media. You can reach out to us as well if you need some help. So I think all of these tips are great. And I saw some question here. Mohammed asked if someone would like to participate and help others, could answer questions and help resolve issues posted on different platforms, blogs, but they're not the blogger type, not great at starting blogs or topics. Is this acceptable in the program? What would you say?
There is ways to participate through the AWS forums. I know through Stack Overflow and through things like that you could maybe even show your participation in how you're maybe supporting and helping others through some bug fixes or through some events or just kind of forums and support tasks like that. There's still like a huge community there, and it shows you're passionate about supporting people. I know blogs aren't for everyone. There even is the option to submit even links if you are more of a speaker. Maybe if you do a podcast, if you speak at events, you can always show those kind of links as well. But yeah, in the community, we all have our different ways of how we express and how we contribute. So there's no just one box fits all that everybody has to write a blog. It very much is writing the content that suits you and that you feel comfortable doing.
Yeah, I will say, one of the things with the community builders is it's a renewal every year process. And so you get into the community builders and then you still have to provide evidence each year that you're continuing to contribute. And I've used things like articles that I wrote that got published in a trade journal. Not a blog. I don't have a blog. The closest I come to it is posting on LinkedIn, and I do that regularly, and you can use that as evidence as well. There are a lot of different ways to contribute to the community, and that's one of the really cool things about the community builders is that they elevate those differences and those uniquenesses amongst each of the people. So, the trick sometimes is finding how to document your contribution. But, if you need help with that, if you have questions about that, you can reach out and ask, how would you recommend documenting this type of a contribution? And I'm guessing that folks in the community will give you good answers on how to do that.
Yeah, and I also want to add here that you must, as Jen said, you must not be a blogger, but find any means possible to get your content out there. You can do videos, you can do animations, you can just use any means to make sure that it helps someone. Blog posts are one of the most famous means of sharing content, but you can also be creative to solve problems that nobody asked you. If you're intuitive and say, "Oh, this might help someone," and you just like give an audio, you must show yourself that audios, videos, blogs, just get your content out there one way or the other. So that's also an alternative to means of exposing yourself or creating content for other enthusiasts and people in need to use.
Yeah, awesome. Somehow my camera, can you still hear me? Yeah, somehow my camera got off and I'm gonna fix it. But I love everything that you said. So just recapping, you can write blogs, podcasts, videos, but also contribute on GitHub to open source projects, or go on Stack Overflow, Reddit. And AWS has its own forum. So if you answer questions there, I'm sure it can count towards your applying to the community builders program. There are so many things that you can do, so don't limit yourself. Think that if you don't write a blog post, you cannot be an AWS community builder. There are so many things. So and like Cesarina said, you can ask people that maybe you work with or you talk to. Oh, hey, what do you think I could put as in my application? Because sometimes you don't see, but other people see what you're doing. So like use that to your advantage. Let's see what other questions we have. Here we have one asking about how important AWS certificates are comparing to real hands-on experience. So what do you think? I'm gonna be honest, I'm gonna say I don't have any certifications from AWS yet. I'm planning to take a few this year, but it wasn't my focus the past years. I really focused on public speaking and creating content. But I know these other ladies, they do have certifications, so maybe they can help answer as well while I fix my camera.
From my perspective, I see this actually obtaining the certificate as the cherry on top of the learning experience that you've had, which is coupled with both theoretical and hands-on. I fully appreciate that everyone's very different in terms of certifications from that aspect. I tend to live in the early careers to mid-level stage in terms of the initiatives I'm part of. And as part of that career transition, a lot of people look towards that certification journey to show that they've got personal projects and in order to look at pivoting towards a new career. But sometimes the more senior you go, A lot of it is having enough time to do all the CPDs and all that bits and pieces. With AWS certifications, every 3 years that they renew from that aspect. So, but it really depends on what's important to you and what will help get you to where you want to be from that aspect. There are some great places. So I think it's AWS, she builds cloud up for her, where you can look at getting AWS CCP or AWS Solutions Architect Associate. You join a Slack community, they have sessions online, and I think it's a certain percentage off an exam voucher that you're able to get towards there, and lots of different initiatives from AWS Cloud Quest to help you with that. But it's got to be both for me, not one versus the other. And I do not ever recommend exam dumps at all.
Yeah, absolutely. Never use exam dumps, please, because for one, you don't learn anything by doing that except for how to answer the questions. And, you know, as you mentioned, David, they don't know anything after using exam dumps to pass the certification. So, you know, for me, I'm on the other side of the certifications. I hold 8 AWS certifications currently, and I'm right in the process of renewing all of them. I've renewed 4 already this year, and I'll be renewing the remaining 3 that I have to renew within the next couple of months. So, you know, I'm studying like crazy, but the benefit for me and the reason I like to keep my certifications current is because every 3 years it forces you to go in there and really make sure you understand all of the improvements, all of the added services, all of the new things that are available within AWS. You know, one of the challenges with AWS, they have over 200 services available for people to use. And they're continuously making updates, adding extra features, you know, improving the way that they've done things, and of course, adding new services as well. And the only way that I am able to keep any sort of bead on that is honestly using the certifications as a kind of forcing function to go in there and say, oh, what has changed since I got those certifications 3 years ago? And I'm always surprised by at least some of what I see, which, you know, I think is awesome. And that's the value in them for me. But when I'm hiring people as a hiring manager, I don't care if you have a certification. I care about your knowledge and your ability to apply that knowledge. So the certification might catch my gaze quickly as I'm scanning through your resume, but you can bet that if you have a certification on your resume, when I'm looking at it and asking questions, I'm going to poke at that and make sure that it's a real certification based on knowledge, not based on exam dumps.
Yeah, I totally agree. Like, hands-on experience is super vital. You really need it to understand what you're doing. For me, the certification isn't really something that I needed for my current job, but it's something I've done just for my own kind of personal confidence in what I'm using. I felt like going through that process, I was doing the hands-on experience. So having that certification, like you said, it's the cherry on top. It really allows you to see what you understand, or maybe even view gaps in your knowledge of places that maybe you haven't specifically needed to work with that service yet. So it's really giving you that understanding. In terms of the Community Builder program, it isn't a requirement to get into the program or anything, and you don't need to hold a certification. But there is a lot of support when you do join Community Builders. There's a channel on Slack completely dedicated to certifications where you can ask people for advice and support of what training materials they recommend, what side projects they'd recommend you build to get that hands-on experience. I've set 3 now with the Community Builder program, and I've got my vouchers from the benefits to be able to sit them. So it has been absolutely incredible. But yes, I wouldn't recommend doing the exams and having no hands-on experience, or doing only the exams. I think a balance of both is always good.
Awesome. Well, I'm back. My camera it got turned off, but yes, I love everything that you said. I see some people asking questions, but I would like to give the chance for some women to ask questions as well. That's why we're here. So feel free to ask questions on the chat. We're here to help answer any doubts that you have. I see some friends also watching us. This is awesome. Thank you so much for supporting us. Yes, thank you, Carlos, Nuno, and everyone that is watching. I saw some questions about the hype about AI, etc. doesn't matter which topic you're passionate about. AWS, they want anyone. It can be even community oriented, you know. Some people, they are just starting in tech and they don't really know anything about certain technologies, and if you're passionate about community, then that can be your thing to get into the community builders program. And then you can, with the community builders, start learning about other tools. So don't worry about a certain technology, etc. I think, you know, sometimes we think, oh, I need to focus on this because this is the hype right now, and this is what's giving money or will give me more chances of getting accepted. I wouldn't say that's the case. Hey, Joanne. Yes, ladies, please ask questions. We're here to for that, to answer your questions. I can't see other, so I see one. Let's see, for blogs, is there a specific number of posts you need to have to be considered?
When I was first year builder applying, I had 0 blogs. So it's really about the journey, and talking about that, and the route to becoming a community builder really does vary from that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
I will
think in
second
terms
that
of
too. Yeah. I second. Oh, I'm sorry to interrupt. Yeah, go ahead.
I was just going to say, in terms of vlogging, it can be hard to have a specific quota you want to hit all of the times. I know for me, vlogging would be my main way of sharing content. And there's some months I feel super inspired. I'm working on cool projects. I might be writing a blog a week, but there could be maybe a period of 3 months where I'm having some downtime. I just don't have that spark of new ideas. And sometimes it just goes up and down throughout the year, where there's months I am a lot more productive and I'm writing more. But you can take that bit of a chill or a break at certain periods as well. So it's not like if you join here, you have to do a quota of like 10 things every single month. Some months you might be a wee bit more productive than others.
Yeah. So I see Usha, she said, "Hi team, I'm interested in cost optimization of EC2 and S3. That's awesome. So this can be your thing, you know, start writing about that. Cost optimization is a big, big topic nowadays. So you can, you know, create content about that, or check if there are other people uh, writing about that and collaborate with them. It can be something as well, you know, or start a blog or a podcast. I was gonna say blogcast, but whatever, you know. So if this is what you're interested about, you can do it. I see another question. When we go and spread about AWS services and done with workshops, will this be considered? So I don't really understand the question, but yes, if you help with workshops at your own company or external, if you help run meetups, this can be considered as well. So you know there are a lot of things you can do. It's not an extensive list. Even things that we haven't think about could be considered. That's what AWS wants to see. Sometimes they don't know what you're doing, and you can, you know, submit that, and it's a new thing, a new contribution, a new type of contribution.
Mhm.
Let's see here. Could you recommend any Slack channel to learn and build with other women in tech? Also, you guys are just doing great. Would love more such events coming. Thank you. I think I agree with you. I want to do more of this and bring such lovely women up here to share about their experience. Yes. I don't know about any Slacks for women in tech. Do you? Any of you know?
Yeah, actually, there's a couple of really good ones out there. So if you're looking specifically for Slack communities, look at, hold on, I'm blanking on the name of it. Give me just 1 second here. Women Who Code has a variety of Slack communities, one that's focused on cloud in particular. And actually, I sometimes do webinars for them as well, and you know, that type of thing. They're a great community. So that's one you can join. It's free to join, you know, and free to participate in. So again, Women Who Code Cloud. Another really good community that I helped co-found is the Tech Study Discord community. And that one is, a global community of learners. We were on Slack until recently, and then we moved to Discord for reasons. But that's also a really vibrant, excellent, very diverse global community that's freely available to anybody who wants to join.
I've mentioned the AWS Certified Cloud Up for her programs, heading towards CCP, Certified Cloud Practitioner, and Solutions Architect Associate. They have different region study groups. They've got lots of different work streams inside there. I haven't got access into YouTube at the moment, but I put the links inside the private chat, so one of the hosts can please send it out.
Yeah, we'll send it.
Yeah, there is also loads of communities. If you look at Meetup, there are lots. I probably focus on the ones around Brighton in the UK and London based. But if you have a look between that and Eventbrite, there's going to be lots of different hubs. You've also got all the AWS user groups. So if you go into, I think it's AWS and then the community page, you've got access to all the different user groups that you'll have across whichever worldwide, to be fair, where they are.
Yeah, I would say if you're still unsure or lost on how to go about it, reach out to someone that might be already an AWS community builder. Ask for help. You know, don't be shy and think you're not cut for that. Anyone can be an AWS community builder, and this is a big thing that a lot of people don't do is ask for help. So independently, if even if it's not about the AWS community builder, but if you're trying to learn something new, go and ask for help on Slack or meetups. Go on meetups in your region or online. There are a lot of meetups. There are a lot of things nowadays catered to people trying to learn AWS. So go and ask for help. So I'm seeing a lot of questions, more technical questions, not related to the AWS Community Builders program. You can go and reach out. Carlos, he's awesome. I can't recommend him enough. And he's very technical. So, Carlos, I'm sorry. People are going to start reaching out to you. But yeah, go and reach out to him. He's so knowledgeable. And a lot of other people, yes. And he's posting great comments as well about, how to build in public and get more credibility so you can get into the program. I'm gonna close this soon, but what are the last piece of advice that any of you have? Or let's see, Augusto asked, what could possibly do to get more women from underrepresented backgrounds into the community? I love this, and I love that more men are trying to, get more women and underrepresented communities in the program. It's not just us fighting for that, is everyone fighting for that. What do you think, what would you say they can do to help more of that?
I'll go ahead and start this because in women in underrepresented communities, we first need to get their attention, get them to shift from the mindset that we can do it. If you shift their mindset, there's a lot of potential there. So identifying them is just reaching out to other women that are already engaged in such activities. Like I have a group of women as well. We just call ourselves African Women in Cloud under the umbrella of cloud computing, where you find women that are willing, they're able, but the life challenges come into the way. Maybe they already have kids, they are married, they want to provide for their families. So letting them know how to multitask, and which we have the competency, multitasking, dividing and conquer, unity among themselves, and encouragement. Those are the little things that make a difference in women. We just need to believe in each other. If you tell me that, Inda, I believe in you, I'm like empowered. I feel as if I can lift a building. So just finding the women and letting them know that you can do this. I'll fight for you. I'll fight with you. I'll stand by your side. So those are the little things that make a difference in the woman's life. Yeah.
Yeah, I think having events like this and just having that representation as well, it just allows people out there, like younger women in the community, to look up and see role models and see themselves in the people who are speaking at an event and who are putting blogs out there, to know, that's something I could do as well. I felt like when I was growing up, seeing some women at my local tech events presenting and seeing what they were doing allowed me to really see myself in them and think I could do that as well. I could put myself out there. So if you are an event organizer, if you run meetups, if you run podcasts, just making sure that you have good representation, it really just allows you to open up to a wider range of people and just continue this community growing in a diverse way.
Yeah, one of the things that I love doing and that I'm grateful my company enables me to do too is I actually reach out to local elementary schools, middle schools, high schools, and go into their classrooms and talk to them about cloud and about technology and about being in a STEM field as a woman or as a minority. Um, One of the big problems that we see, at least here in the US, is by the time you get to college, which is what most outreaches are targeted toward, women have already turned away from the STEM fields. So that's too late to be starting that process to try to reach the broadest possible range of people. And so the younger you can give them people to see and faces to recognize, and the younger you can help them see that that really is an option for people who look like them or come from backgrounds like them or any of that, the more likely you are to draw more diverse individuals into the tech industry and into cloud in particular. So, that's a passion area of mine. And that's one way that I've seen us actually start to make some inroads is by pushing down as low and as early into their education as you can.
Yeah, I echo that. Everything that everyone said. Getting people early on inside their career decision-making journey is really important. But also realizing that it doesn't stop there. What you do is not defined by choices that you chose back in the day. I did English and media for my degree. From that aspect, completely different to what I do now. But the key things that I really loved was things being constantly changing. The great thing about the cloud computing industry is that technology changes, and that can be both an exciting thing, but also, you've got to keep up. But with every iteration, every time something changes, it's a really great opportunity for people new to come into that industry because it levels the playing field from that aspect. There are lots and lots of different services and products that come out all the time, and being able to decide what you want to specialize in or what you want to learn about is really important. But yeah, it's looking at career switchers, people returning back to work, early careers, and seeing how we can help encourage people. I know you do a great lots of stuff, so hi, Augusto, as well, from that aspect. But it's really being an ally and helping people and not asking, will you do this? It's when. Little changes in terminology, I know in my own experience helped me. I was encouraged numerous times to apply to become a community builder, to the point that my male allies, stopped saying, when are you going to apply? They said, how's your application going? Do you want me to review it? Little changes really made me go, oh, I really should do this, shouldn't I? From that aspect.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I can't. Your names disappeared, so it's something I did on my end probably, and I don't want to click any wrong button and end this stream early. So Carlos, I'm gonna share on LinkedIn their names, and I encourage everyone to go check them out, follow them on social media, reach out if you need to. I know they're open for that. And just one last thing that Carlos mentioned is that you don't, even if English, you're not proficient in English, you can still be a builder, you can still apply. My English is not perfect. It's not my first language, and for a long time it hindered me. I thought, oh, I can't give talks in public, or create X type of content because I'm not so good in English. But it's just our imposter syndrome telling us that we're not capable, but we are very capable. So we need, as women, we need to know that we are capable of anything. and especially if we get together, we're capable of even more. So don't stop, and don't think you can't do anything. You can do a lot. And yes, I'll share everyone's name, and I'll share their social media as well. Thank you everyone for attending, and thank you these four amazing women. They do so much for the community, and they took their time today to come and talk about their experience with us. So thank you so much. I appreciate it. Last chance to share anything. Otherwise, I'll stop the stream, because I know there are some there, they have meetings going on, etc. So yeah, and yeah, Joanne said, inspiring women. Everyone's journey is different. It's important to recognize that. Yeah. Well, I appreciate everyone here, and thank you, ladies. I'm gonna end the stream now, and we should definitely do this again. Maybe not just for the AWS Community Builder program, but women in tech, or like what you do for work, whatever. I think we should talk more about ourselves instead of talking about others. We should talk more about ourselves.
Sure. Thank you so much.
Thank
This was
you.
awesome.
Yes.
Thanks for
Thank you.
Awesome. Thank you so much,
you.
everyone. Bye.
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 bye.